This is a video lesson for percentage change or reversing the percentage change calculations. We have got a starter here to complete first. Please do that and then come back on for the answers. Okay, question 1. We are going to have to subtract the 4x from both sides, leaving 3x minus 8 is equal to 3. Add on the 8 to both sides, leaving 3x is equal to 11, and then divide both sides by 3 to get x is equal to 11 over 3. Question B, we have got to multiply out the bracket first before doing any rearranging. So it is 6x plus 3 is equal to 7 minus 6x. From here we can add 6x to both sides, which will give us 12x plus 3 equals 7. We can then subtract 3 from both sides to get 12x equals 4, and then divide both sides by 4 to get 4 over 12 for x. We do have to then simplify this fraction and make that x equals 1 over 3. Question 2. In order to add fractions, we need to have the same denominator. So in this case, our common denominator will be 10. We have multiplied the first fraction by 2 to get the 5 up to 10. So do the same to the top of the fraction, becomes 4 over 10, and applying the same process to the second fraction makes it 5 over 10. Therefore, the resulting fraction is 9 over 10. Question B, we have got to first change the 1.5 into a top-heavy fraction before we can multiply. So that gives us 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1, which is 3 over 2. To multiply fractions then, we times the two top numbers together to get 18, times the two bottom numbers together to get 26, and then we can simplify, divide top and bottom by 2 to get 9 over 13. Okay, on with our percentage questions then. So today we're looking at finding the original amount, also known as reversing the change. This is something we have covered in class already. As with the appreciation and depreciation questions, it is a recap and then a little bit of a deeper exploration into some of the questions. So first we have to determine whether a percentage rise or fall has occurred. That will be based on the context of the question. We then calculate what percentage we are actually given within the question, and then we do our calculations to calculate our original amount, or 100%. So, question 1 here. A common misconception with these questions is that we say, right, it is 15% off, therefore I'll find 15% of that number and I'll take it away. That is not what's happening with these questions. With these questions, we have started off with some number, okay, and that number is what we are trying to find. We've started off with some number, we've taken off 15% from it, and we have a result of £52.70. So with these questions, we are trying to work backwards rather than work forwards, finding a percentage to take it off and so on. So the best way in which to do this is to start off, same as we did with the compound interest, and that's to say, right, let's start with 100%, okay? And I'm going to assume that the original cost is 100%, okay? I'll assume that that's what we started with, was 100%. Now, what has happened to that original cost? We have taken off 15%. So 100 take away 15 gives us a percentage of 85 as a result. Now, there are two ways in which we can do this calculation, okay, and I will do both of them in this video, and then you can pick which one you would prefer. So, the first way, once we have that percentage, I am given 85%, and I'm also given a value within the question. So essentially what I'm being told here is that 85% of this toy's value is equal to £52 and £52.70. Okay, I've calculated the resulting percentage. So 85% of an original, which is the original take off the 15, is equal to what I have in the question. From here, then I want to try and work out, so I know that 85% is equal to £52.70. I want to work out what 100% is equal to, because remember that's what we said the original cost was going to equate to, was 100%. So what we need to do then is, in this process, there's a flow chart process, is how I like to describe it. So we say here, we're going to go from 85 to 1 and then back up to 100. Okay, and the reason I would describe it as a flow chart is because I'll put these arrows in for what calculations I have to do for each step. So if 85% is equal to 52.70, then if I want to find out what 1% is equal to, I need to divide by 85. Okay, so we're trying to get from 85 down to 1, so we've got to divide by 85. So if we do that on the right hand side, 52.7 divided by 85, we get 0.62. So that's not our final answer. We need to then take that up to 100%. 1 up to 100, we're going to have to times that by 100. Okay, hopefully that's pretty straightforward. 1 times 100 would get you up to the 100%. So we've got 0.62 in that middle line, timesing that by 100 will give us 62. So that tells us the original cost, if we pop a pound sign beside that 62, was £62. You can work this out as well. You could do your 15% of 62 and take it off and make sure you do get the £52.70, but that's our process for finding that. Okay. The other method that we could use is this one here. So we start it off the same by saying 100%, we've taken away 15 since it's in a sale, so we're left with 85%. What I'm going to do now is divide that by 100 to get 0.85. So you'll notice that from the previous examples and the previous work that we've done. Now what I'm going to do, instead of multiplying the £52.70 by 85, because that would be finding 85%, I am going to divide by the 0.85 on the £52.70. Okay, now when we do that, you'll have a calculator for all of these, so you can shove that into the calculator, and we will get £62 coming out at the end. Both of these methods are entirely plausible. You can use either one. You can use both as well and make sure that you get the same answer for each of them for all of the questions. The reason that I like the blue method, the one on the left, is because it's different. So it distinguishes these questions from the appreciation and depreciation method. Okay, that's why I would prefer the left-hand method. It's easy to get mixed up and start multiplying by the 0.85 if you're thinking of getting that multiplier decimal like you were with the previous percentage questions. Okay, this next question here. Again, I will use two sides of the page and we'll work out both different methods as well. So, what we are told is that a jumbo jar of sweets contains 13% more sweets than a normal jar. We are told that there are 226 sweets in the jumbo jar, so we're given our new value and we want to find out what the normal one had, how many sweets. So we're assuming again that the normal jar is 100% of the total value. So start off again with 100%. This is our first step of those learning intentions. Find out what's happened. Has it been added on? Has it been taken off? So in this case, from the normal one up to the jumbo jar, we have added on 13%, giving a total percentage of 113. Just as before, this new percentage is equal to our larger jar, okay, so to our new number that we're given in the question. If I was to find 1% using the flowchart dividing and multiplying, I can multiply up to 100%. So again here, it is always going to be dividing and then multiplying. Dividing first by 113 to get your 113% down to 1%. So 226 divide by 113 and you will get an answer of 2. Times that here then by 100. Again with the same with the 2, so we get 200. And we always want to put some units on the end of these. So 200 sweets would have been in the normal jar. Okay. You'd end up with the same calculations or the same answer if you work out using the multiplier method. So you would still get 113 because you do this calculation first. Divide that by 100 to get 1.13. That gives you your decimal. And then take the 226 and divide it by 1.13. And we'll end up again with 200 sweets for that answer as well. Okay, got one more example of these and then I'll get you on to some questions. So in this one here, again, it's all about reading the question to find out your first step. So we need to do 100%, we're starting off with that, right? Always 100%. You might as well write that down first, then read your question and see what you have to do. So we are told that a theatre group sells 4,830 tickets. This was 15% more than they sold last year. So how much did they sell last year? So 15% more is this value, and last year's amount we will assume is 100%. So to get this year's value, we have added on 15%, total of 115%, and we can work down our flowchart to find the 100. So 115, 1 goes in the middle, and our aim is to get to that 100%. 115% is equal to the number in the question for this year's value, which is 4,830. Divide by the 115 and then multiply by 100. So 4,830 divided by the 115 gives us 42. Times that by 100 and we get 4,200 tickets for this one. Again with the multiplier, really quickly you would get 4,830 divided by 115 divided by 100, so 1.15, and it would give you 4,200 tickets out for that as well. Okay, both methods work perfectly fine. It's just whatever one you understand more, whatever one you think you'll remember more as well going forward. And if you think you're going to get mixed up between the two different types of percentage questions, then I would use the one on the left and the blue and red writing. Okay, I will set you off then to the Teams page, and you will find work and worksheets, questions, etc. there for you. If you do have any questions when you work through these, they are difficult, so just let me know and I'll help you out where I can. Okay, thank you for